Alright, so we're doing a couple new installs. Check it out. We're gonna do some turning signals. Do some levers. License plate. Lower the handlebars. And some rear sets. A while ago when I got the bike, this foot peg broke on me. I don't know where these little things are from, but this foot peg broke on me, so now I'm gonna put this back up here, return this back to the R6, and now that I have the Woodcraft rear sets, I'm gonna install those and we should be good. Hey, what's up YouTube? As you know now by the title of the video, we're going to be installing Woodcraft rear sets. As you see me here destroying a beautiful package, the material of this rear set is amazing. Well done. I separate all the pieces so I understand what I'm dealing with, and as I put them on bit by bit, I understand how each mechanism works, as there is micro adjustments so that you can make the shifting or the braking as comfortable as possible to your pleasing. As I'm dealing with the clutch lever or the clutch shift, you're able to adjust if you would like it normal shifting or GP shifting. Putting piece by piece so I understand how everything works, I separate the clutch side from the brake side, and then I'm prepared to install. So that would be my recommendation prior to putting it on the bike. That's what I would suggest to do to make things easier. So you saw first I assembled the parts just because I wanted to see what I was dealing with, but just keep in mind I'm just gonna put it on for test fitting, but I am gonna take each one of these bolts and actually throw on some thread locker. I got high strength, but I just don't want it to fall off with vibration while riding, especially if I'm gonna go to the track very soon. I'm not trying to have one fall off just because of vibration. As you see here, me taking off the original peg, putting on, or like kind of test fitting where the new foot peg would go. The only thing I could heed warning on is kind of difficult identifying where you want your foot. So I would suggest just put it on, and then as you slightly tighten everything down, you're gonna sit on the bike and test where your foot's going to be and where you feel like you like it. I remember doing this, and I was taking the foot peg off and on just to do micro adjustments to understand where I felt comfortable at. So don't feel bad that you have to take the peg off and on multiple times, as you can make micro adjustments. Next is setting up this right here. So on this, it has two, as you notice, there's two locations here. Left side here is regular shift, the rear side is GP shift. So keep that in mind if for some of you that do like racing or track or just like the GP shift, it has it so it accommodates the GP shift for you as you install. So I'm gonna stick with standard shift just because I'm not used to GP shift, so we'll stick with that. As I actually start taking off the little clutch shifter, it was pretty easy I mean, everything is actually pretty easy. It's all, every bolt kind of goes back the same. So once, whatever you take off, you just put back on with the rear, the Woodcraft rear set. I did run into a little snag here in this, installing phase where the shifter, maybe because the actual Woodcraft is a little bigger and it accommodates the whole GP shift and normal shift. You'll notice in the next scene here where it's actually touching the actual little rod, and it doesn't let you shift up or down, I believe. I'm not sure which one it is. So I had to do a little bit of an adjustment on the top end of that, you know, if you follow that little shift, and I'll show you right now in a second.
Alright, so with trial and error, I had to move this because what happens here is every time I shift, it would touch the rod, which is a big no-no. So, you know, originally there's a little line right here that you're supposed to line up this here so that you know where middle is at. But the problem is, for some reason, this length, even by adjusting this, it would still touch. So now that I fixed it, where our shifting is still good, I slowly had to move this upward to get a little more teeth. And that's it, now it's level. All I need to do now is just bring this down so it's more comfortable on my toe. So it's more comfortable on the toe. So I move this a couple teeth down. I moved the rod where I need it to be. It's not tight right now, but I'll tighten this down because this allows you to move up and down to give you more up and down leverage. Right now it's not tight. And yeah, so now it doesn't touch, see? It doesn't touch. The reason why I didn't put any Loctite on these is just because I don't know exactly where I want my footing to be. So after removing this, then I'm totally comfortable where it's at. I'm gonna leave these loose. I'm gonna leave these loose for more adjustment, but I'm gonna tie in everything else so far because I like where everything's at right now. By doing that, with this you're allowed to move however you please. We already know that it's too high here, so we're gonna lower that. You see that? We're gonna lower it to the down position here, and you lock it in the pin right here. It's down. I'm still not gonna thread lock it yet, so I feel that I'm pretty comfortable. Not tight, but we're gonna sit on and test it out.
As I stated earlier, don't feel bad that you're gonna be taking off this rear set on and off, because you're gonna have to micro adjust everything to your liking. You know, sometimes this is the opportunity to move it however you please. If you want it to be closer to you, so that you can shift faster, whatever helps you out.
So like I was saying, this thing is very important. It's gonna go on the toe peg. There's instructions in the box. So you're gonna put it in there. I don't know if you can see it. Just so it won't have a lot of play. So I used the red Loctite, which is super strong. I would recommend the blue one. I think the red's gonna be a little too hard. You do want these parts just in case you were to get into a crash. Luckily you can buy each part separately. That's why it's made like this. So I probably will regret putting the I probably will regret putting in the red Loctite in the future. Now just to repeat the same process on the other side.
Luckily, doing the right side is a lot easier. It's very simple. I mean, all you're gonna do here, as I sped everything up, just so that you can get straight to the point, you take off everything that the right foot peg has originally, all the bolts, and you're just gonna slowly take it off and apply it to the Woodcraft peg, brake peg, because it's essentially the same thing. This one was less complicated because it didn't have to deal with the shifting. The only thing that you're gonna lose on the right side here is there's two springs that hold, kind of bring the brake pedal up. For some reason in the stock one, when you use the Woodcraft one, you lose one of the brake springs, which is not a big deal because you don't really need it. And I already taken the motorcycle to the track and I had no problems. The pegs were phenomenal. I definitely would recommend them to anyone that desires to get them. They're very grippy, so on my boots didn't feel like they were gonna come off at all. And then there's a little cotter pin that you pull off here. That's probably the worst difficult part, and I had the wrong tools to do it. But I'll say this install, if I had to judge it from 1 to 10, it was a solid like 6, 7. I did have to phone a friend to kind of give me a little tips on the clutch side, but hopefully this video helped you out somehow, or give you a little more confidence, or even helped you out in any way, shape, or form. Again, I appreciate anyone that watches my videos. I'm just here to help out wherever I can. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.